Toxic femininity.
What we saying?
Are you a toxic feminist?
No. I think when I was younger, I probably was.
Do you know what it is?
A little bit toxic.
Do you know what it is?
Toxic femininity. What, femininity?
Toxic
feminism?
Femininity. No. So, right, toxic femininity, completely different to feminism, right? So, you've got toxic masculinity, which is any masculine trait that males can lean into. That's rooted in their masculinity. That's basically the same, but with femininity.
Okay.
So anything that is deep rooted within your femininity and you make that almost adverse or toxic, that's what it is.
Okay, so do you want to give us a few
so
examples? For example, perhaps from your day-to-day life.
Okay, so right, this isn't actually something that I do, but this is an example of toxic femininity, right? So women who are behaving out of whack, but then are behaving like they're blaming their behaviour on their period.
Oh my god.
So if they're being aggy, or if they're being annoying, or if they're just like being over dramatic, they're like, oh, that's because I'm on my period. I don't know girls that do that, but obviously there is, because that is toxic.
No, there's definitely people who do that.
So
because they're moving
femininity.
reckless.
That is toxic femininity.
But I think it does go hand in hand with toxic feminism as well, because they rely on traits that inherently women do believe are make us vulnerable in a way, and then they play on that vulnerability, which is toxic femininity.
But feminism is about empowering
Yeah,
women, whereas toxic femininity, it's the opposite. It's not empowering
women.
women.
100%. That's why I'm saying it goes hand in hand with toxic feminists.
Oh, okay.
Because they show traits of toxic femininity. This is so hard to keep saying.
So you've got no toxic feminine traits?
I definitely think I do. And I have done in the past, but I do work now to try and not be like that, to try and be a more equal person. But when I was younger, obviously, like, I think I probably moved a bit mad with the period thing. Like, I grew up with two brothers, and it's sometimes a little bit easier to be like, oh, like, I'm just fuming because it's my hormones or whatever.
Yeah.
When really, I'm just being a petulant child. Let's be real. Like, I probably did that quite a bit when I was younger. But as you grow up, I like to think that people reassess, but there are so many people out there that don't do that. And I think that can damage what feminists are trying to achieve.
Yeah, it does. It does damage it. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I am a feminist. Like, I'm about equality for men and women. However, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, do I have toxic feminine traits? Yeah, I do. Not that I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm a toxic. I'm not saying I'm toxic, but
well, you got toxic traits. So what would you say that is the main one that you would?
No, not that I'm like, oh, I do this all the time, but like at the end of the day, if I do really feel like I just need to benefit myself, sometimes I'm going to do it. So, for example, if people are like, I don't know, if you're moving house, I'm not lifting stuff because I'm like, oh, I can't carry it in 2 weeks. I'm not lifting it.
No.
I'm not doing it.
Why?
Don't want to.
So who are you going to get to do it?
Somebody who's somebody who's a man. I'm not lifting it.
Somebody who's a man.
Yeah, I'm not lifting it.
Why not?
Don't want to.
So you just set
so
yourself
like,
back.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good, but like sometimes like I know I can lift stuff, and if push comes to shove, yeah, I'll do it. But at the end of the day, if there's somebody else there who is able to do it, why can't you just do it? Why do I have to do it?
Well, it would get done quicker if both of you did it. If we're going to be honest. Yeah. I cannot believe you'd actually get someone else to do it.
I mean, yeah, I know it sounds bad. Like, I bet everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, what the heck is up with this cell? But like, at the end of the day, my nails cost me 35 quid. I'm not risking snapping off my nails to lift a chair when you could do it yourself.
Like, fair enough with that stuff. Like, sometimes snapping acrylic, honestly, there's no pain like it. Like, that goes to the back of your throat. You're like, ugh! I literally remember when I used to work, when we used to work in the bar, the amount of times I've been like, can you just do that? Because
Because your nails.
Because my nails. But it does make me look like a dick.
Yeah, but put it round. If a guy, I remember having a guy say to me, we were moving basically loads and loads of chairs and stools out of a van. And it was one of those where everyone was getting involved, so I was like, I'm just gonna lift it. And to be fair, it was stools and chairs, so it's fine, I can lift it. And then this guy came up to me and he was like, oh no, don't you concern yourself about that, leave it to the guys to do it. And he took it off me and carried it in. I was livid.
Well,
however,
you've done that to yourself.
It was exactly what I wanted, but I was livid. I was livid because I was like, how dare you say that to me? I can lift a chair, but also at the same time, I didn't want to lift the chair, so I was a bit like...
I just don't... You can't, on one hand, be like, I'm just going to pretend to be weak so that someone else will lift this. But then if someone does it unprovoked, you're going to be pissed off.
It's the difference between the entitlement. So for me, right, toxic femininity only affects women. Toxic masculinity affects everyone. Do you know what I mean? You've affected me with that as well.
Oh,
yeah, it's true.
I don't know about that. I say toxic masculinity
affects everyone.
And toxic femininity affects everyone. Because you doing that man's gonna be like, yeah, he's seen that you've done this whole, oh, I'm so weak, like can't lift it, spaghetti arms.
No, I don't ever.
He's come along.
No, I don't put on a show. I don't put on a show. I'm not like.
He's done this. He's moved your stuff for you, whatever, and he's come away from this situation predominantly with the message. I'm stronger than girls.
No, I don't put on a show like, oh my gosh, it's too heavy. I'm just like, oh, that's a bit heavy.
Yeah, but that's what you've taught this man is like women are weak.
No, I'm not saying women. I'm saying I can't do it.
You're not saying anything because you're telling him
that's
with
a bit
your action.
I'm just like, that's a bit heavy for me.
I cannot. But
is.
So you're saying that doesn't affect everyone?
It affects me.
And it affects
my
the
exertion of energy. If you can do it, you can do it.
That just feeds into toxic masculinity.
No, put it this way, right? I wouldn't get Chalice to try and lift, I don't know, that entire case, right? Because I didn't want to do it. Like, if he can do it, brilliant, go for it. Lift away. But if you can't, I'm not going to be like, you're a man, do it.
You're a man, you've got to do it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. You're saying you would prefer if someone else would lift the stuff for you. And it happens to be men for the majority of the time. However, I get that goes hand in hand with if you didn't want to lift it and I didn't mind lifting it, you would let me lift it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I'm doing effectively.
Yeah, but if it's a man doing that, they're coming away from that with the message, women are weak.
No, they're just thinking I'm strong.
No, they're not.
How do you know?
Well, even then, they've come away with an ego from a situation, so they'll go up to the next woman who looks like they're struggling a bit, like, and do that entitlement thing that you don't like, being like, oh, don't worry yourself, I'll get this.
I mean, he doesn't have to say it like that, but he can be like, oh, I can lift it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to apologise for not lifting. Like, I'm not going to do something I don't want to do.
Fair. But I would argue...
Everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's so toxic.
But I would argue that it affects everyone in the same way that toxic masculinity would affect everyone in the same way. For example, so I knew that we were doing this podcast, obviously, and I've been on Instagram and I followed some, oh my God, just for the sake of like seeing what the other side say. And obviously I'm proud feminist. And I've been following some accounts that literally rip into feminists that you would not believe. And what they pick up on are a lot of the toxic femininity traits.
Like,
so things like accusing people of rape.
Yeah, that's mad.
Falsely.
Oh, that's mad.
And 100% I do not agree with that. Like, do not agree with people falsely accusing anyone of anything.
Yeah, that's mad.
But this is what I mean. It gives feminists a bad name because someone with a vagina has falsely accused someone of something. And then obviously we have a large culture, and rightly so, of believing victims. You should not victim blame.
Yeah.
So it does create this whole circle. But what these accounts do, that are like called like anti-toxic feminism or stuff like that, they literally pick up on those little things.
No, but the thing is that is
so triggering.
No, but the thing is that is mad though, because like obviously there's a spectrum. There's a difference between me not wanting to open my own water bottle, and like just to clarify, I literally couldn't open that before.
Yeah, that was tragic.
Yeah, I actually couldn't open that.
I'm glad no one saw that.
To like So like another toxic feminine trait, lying or faking pregnancy.
Oh my god.
Do you watch The Office, the US Office?
No, I don't.
Chatters, do you watch the US Office? Guys, I'm not telling you. So basically, right, this one girl, her boyfriend breaks up with her, and he's now the manager, and she goes, well, please can we just go on a date? He's like, no. She goes, well, you need to go on a date with me because I'm pregnant and I'm keeping it.
I think I've seen a clip of
And
that.
then she's like, then she just turns to the camera and she's like, nah. Like, it's mad. That's toxic.
I think to a certain extent, people in general do this whole manipulative.
Yeah, that is actually, that's worse.
It's mad the lengths people will go to sometimes when they just fancy someone or whatever. And I think, have you seen that video as well where someone's going, I think they're in the tube in London or in America or something like that, just on like a train or whatever. And this girl goes up and like sits on the knee of guys or like touches their thigh or something
Sexual
like
harassment.
That is literally sexual harassment. But
that's toxic. Yeah, that's toxic feminine traits because
they're like, oh, it's a girl.
You can get away with it because you're a woman. If that was a guy, like 9
oh my god,
9.
people would be catching hands, like people would be lobbing shit at the
literally.
guy. And I think playing on that kind of thing definitely makes women as a whole look bad. So I think having toxic feminine traits reflects badly on a sex in general. Just like people start going like, oh, men do this, men do that, whatever, and then there's always that not all men argument. But how do you prove that? How do you prove that when people are being so reckless like this and giving women a bad name? Why are you trying to touch people up on a train? You don't even know them like that.
She actually videoed it as well, so she's literally like
numerous times
herself committing crimes. That's mad.
And like you can literally see how horrified these guys are, but also they don't want to do anything because if they react badly and they like shove her or something, then they're the bad guy. And I think that is so, like women doing this whole, well, I'm so weak and I'm like whatever. It damages what we're trying to achieve. No, I mean like, oh, I'm so like I couldn't hurt anyone, or or I'm not even threatening, shit like that. Like that just damages the message as a whole that women are trying to get out there to create a more equal society and people assessing how they actually like treat people and like the actions that they take day to day, because it is a lot of the little things in life. It's
even to yourself as well. So toxic feminine traits can affect you as a person. So another one, women just ordering salads when they're out at the restaurant when they're starving.
Mate, never.
Could never be me.
Never. No, I work out to eat.
Yeah, exactly. So like that in itself, while it's not directly affecting anybody else, but still yourself, like that's a toxic feminine trait that you've ingrained onto yourself. So you're sat there starving, paying £10 for some dead avocado.
Do you know anyone that does that?
I don't know.
I mean, I do like a good Caesar salad, but only from one specific place. Yeah, I've got to be in the mood for it.
No, but let's say, for an example, the girl's on her first date with the guy and she's like, oh my gosh, we're going out for food, but I don't want to be like yamming on some burger. So she's got a salad.
I actually I think about this all the time, you know, because my dating life is 0. I always think like, what would I eat on a, because you don't want to eat anything messy.
It's one of those, nothing that can get stuck in your teeth.
Is that why people have salads? Perhaps?
I don't know, because like, especially if it's something that you don't really know, you're not going to be, it's nothing that you can proper dig into. That's me personally. I'm not saying I'm going to
no spaghetti on the go.
Yeah, there's no spaghetti because like, do you know when you're like, and it's just smacking
I don't eat spaghetti anyway for that reason, because I don't want sauce in my eyebrows and my hair.
I mean, like there's some stuff that I would probably steer clear of. I'll probably steer clear of a burger as well unless I'd cut it up in half. Do you know what I mean? But there's no way you're going to get my entire jaw out like
disappear in the jaw to eat the burger. Yeah, I don't think I know anyone that would get a salad. So because I don't associate myself with people that are so like conscious in that way. Everyone just likes food that I know. I think we all bond over it, to be fair. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know anyone that does that, so I can't really comment on it. But
yeah, I'd never do like, yeah, I wouldn't do something like, I wouldn't I wouldn't eat corn on the cob.
Oh, I actually I feel like if I ever get a date, I'm gonna have to think about
What
this
you eat.
real hard.
Text me what you have.
Yeah,
Like, we're gonna go
like,
in like.
Send you a picture of the menu. What do I do?
What do?
Someone tell me how. Oh, yeah, no. But I don't. If people are really doing that for an image thing, then stop doing that. Like, don't do that. Just eat what you want to eat. I mean, if you want a salad, have a salad, but don't do it because it makes you look dainty or whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
But other toxic feminine traits. I think we've gone from the spectrum of it being just like kind of banter, but to like legit like that's moving mad sort of thing.
Yeah, like the moving mad stuff. It's very easy to just be like, that's an individual. Well, actually, it's not easy because people love to be a dog with a bone with it. People love to just be like, oh my god, I'm gonna run with this. I've seen one woman move this mad. I'm gonna generalize it. But I would argue the jokey stuff to be the more damaging stuff because it kind of makes it seem like it's okay.
That's true.
Do you
Yeah,
know
because
what I
like
mean?
I always say like I'm not taking out the bins. Like I'll always say it. Like it's not something that I'm gonna be doing because nah.
Like if I
not-
yeah,
just
I
not
know what
doing
you mean. Because if like say for example, like say if Brad or Callum are doing something for me where I'll always go up to them joking, being like, "You're so strong. You're so big and strong."
What a man.
And every single time they'll just be like, for fuck's sake. But with them, they get the feminist rants as well. But if I did that to someone else and was just like pumping them up, being like, "Oh my god,
gosh,
you're so
yeah.
amazing." That could
It's all in context. It's
potentially
context as well, though. It's context because it's Callum and Brad. Do you know what I mean? Like you're mates with them. Where if it's a guy who's like literally has like an ego complex.
Yeah.
Like, please take out the bins for me.
I've got this. Oh my god! If anyone wants that role, apply. I'm joking.
She's not joking. But
I'll take my own bins out.
No, because you do have like the really bad ones. So obviously like faking pregnancy, like even like physical abuse towards men because you know as a woman then unlikely to hit you back. Whereas you've got all the other stuff where it's like, yeah, I don't want to lift a bag or I don't want to take the bins out.
I feel like as well, like it's actually mad thinking about it, but in high school is the first time that I experienced like people like faking pregnancies. I can't tell you how many times I'd hear about someone faking a pregnancy that I knew, and I was just like,
none of the pregnancies in my school were fake. Like all them girls were wishing they were fake. They were like,
I mean, there was a fair few real ones, but I don't actually think in my year. I don't think so. But I experienced that from young, and that could be either. It could have gone two ways. It could have been normalised to me, and I could have just been like, yeah, this is what people do. This is like how
Okay.
And like I find it so hard to read stuff. And I talk at the same time, like
yeah.
Don't have my glasses on. Yeah, I could have normalised that at a young age and been like, yeah, this is totally normal to manipulate a guy, like just fake a pregnancy so he doesn't ever leave me. But really, in reality, the guy don't leave.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny though. Those girls, like they got what's coming to them at the end of the day because I'm not being funny. When you get older, every girl, it's a rite of passage, gets screwed over by a guy. So they've had their time and like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, they've had their time. And like,
for months it lasted, guys, because he's still gonna leave you.
Still gonna leave you. Fake pregnancy or not, at least they don't end up with a baby after it. But like, yeah, it's actually crazy. And obviously, seeing that from my perspective, luckily I went the way of like, you're a freak. Why are you doing that? Why are you putting someone through the emotional trauma at that age as well? I think it must have been like. People started doing it like 50.
Oh, their poor boyfriend.
He'd have a dicky heart, wouldn't he?
Telling his mum, I got her pregnant.
Do you know what I mean? And it's
got licks for nothing.
It's all a ruse.
Could you imagine?
It's all a ruse.
And she's like, oh, mum, she was just joking. Could you imagine?
I'm not being funny. If I was the mum, I'd be catching hands. Be joking that kid, nah.
To be fair, that's probably why she did it. She just wanted him to get licks by his mum for no reason.
My god.
Could you imagine?
But you just see these people that if I Facebook to them now, they are sad and alone. They're sad and alone. That's the reality of it. So if
yes, because you move like that. Like people aren't friends with people who lie.
Yeah, because you can't trust those people. If you can lie about something so serious, Like, no. But also, on the other hand, there's the people stop taking their birth control. Mad.
Toxic.
Mad. You're literally ruining your body for what? A boy? Why? Why? There's so many boys out there. You don't need this one. If you don't want your hun, or if things are going well, you're gonna potentially ruin it by getting yourself knocked up. Like,
Right.
do you know what stress can do to people?
Yeah. You're telling me like I haven't just taken a month's sick leave off work because of stress. So do you know what stress can do to people? Yeah.
Yeah. But like, the more likely story is they're not gonna stay with you. They're gonna shit themselves and do a runner. That's the sad truth, especially in 2020. Like,
Sound like you've had a lot of experience.
No.
No.
Triple million protected, thank you. Also, not getting any. That's the main one. But yeah, I just can't imagine why you'd want to come off your birth control or whatever to trick someone into doing that, because you see it in like plots of TV programs and films, and I'm always just like, it's just toxic.
Yeah, Shadows, do you need to fix sound? Yeah, let's fix sound. Let's fix the sound. Right, shall we go through some of these then? So, what site is this? Have you seen the name of the site? This is why I'm
single. Oh my god.
Right, yeah. So it has basically
attacked.
statements, traits of toxic, feminine teens, toxic
women.
Yeah, toxic women basically.
Toxic women.
Let's just have a chat through them really. So first one, real women have curves. So that is something, not necessarily, like obviously men can say it as well, but some women may say that as well. Whereas for me, I'm like, that's a bit peak because I'm just don't have it.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, when I was younger, I probably would have said that, but that's because I was like very insecure about the fact that I thought I was a little fatty.
It is a bit mad though, because I can very imagine the time at which it was said. It was made to empower women who weren't skinny.
100%.
Because obviously you go through that timeline of what was a beauty standard, and at the time it was like skinny, like boyish frame sort of thing.
Yeah.
So now it's women who like couldn't have that figure or don't have that figure saying, actually no, real women have curves. But like now you've got people like, so for my little sister anyway, her metabolism is fast.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she eats so much, and she's really, really slim. I think it's somebody rude. I think it'd be really rude if somebody went up to her and did like, oh.
It's like when people are saying to people, you're too skinny, but everyone's body type is different.
It's different.
The problem we have as a society is the fact that we go through body types, like they're fashionable.
Yeah.
Like, and you get the likes of like Kardashians or whatever now, and everyone's trying to get like BBLs, getting like lipo on their waist and whatever, instead of like trying to be healthier or trying to do something to like better their health or their well-being, both mentally and physically. People are literally getting so caught up in what society is saying is fashionable as a body type, they are modifying it like through extreme means.
I think whatever you're happy with and whatever you're comfortable with, go with that, because like I do know some girls who like, for them, they're just like the skinnier the better. They're just like skinny and go for it.
Yeah.
But as long as they're not moulding what they want to look like based on what somebody else has said. Because like for me, it's not like skinny the better. I don't want that look. But at the same time, like I'm not gonna like eat myself to my grave.
Yeah.
Trying to get curves if that's not something that I can achieve.
And I think, it's one of them where like this says real women have curves. I think it is, like you said, something that's made to empower people, because obviously society throughout time has always said you need to look a certain way or whatever.
It's when you got to that Madonna era, and then she was like Marilyn Monroe era.
Yeah.
Where she was like,
she was a size 16.
She
was a size 16. And people are literally like, they don't even realise that. And it's one of them where I just think that it should be real women have every different type of body. Like, you shouldn't be putting other people down because of your own insecurity, and that basically is what that is.
So this one, I guess it's something that comes with like different ages and whatnot.
Wait, so
because women who make fun of other women
women
in hopes it will make her seem more attractive to men. Like, I'd like to think that at our age, mid-20s, early 20s, that doesn't happen. Whereas, like, I can imagine it does happen when you're 15, 16.
I've heard it happen at our age. I stay away from those girls so bad because to be fair, even I can admit I used to be one of those girls that was just like, I spend a lot of time in the company of guys. I grew up with my, like, 2 older brothers. A lot of my friends at high school were guys. We're in a predominantly guy-heavy group. So I always felt more comfortable in that. Growing up with my granddad, my dad, like, all of that, like, contributes to me being more comfortable in the company of guys. But it's one of them where But
that's different though, because you feel comfortable with those guys. But
yeah, but I never really had girlfriends.
Yeah, but girls
you get those girls that are like, I just don't get on with girls, and they're the ones.
Yeah, they're the ones that would do stuff like that because
ones.
They're not naturally as comfy with guys. So to make themselves feel like, I don't know, they fit in with them, they're just like, oh, let's just slag off with the girls, which I'm a bit like.
Yeah, I don't know, you hear it and you just hope that people grow out of it, like you say, because it is something you hear in high school. And
I don't think I've ever seen any girl do that now. Like,
oh no,
I still see guys our age do that.
I hear them.
I don't actually see girls do it.
They're so low key about it though. Like that's one thing women know how to do is stay low key when they want to be low key.
Yeah.
And it is one of them where you hear it, you can't unhear it. I will judge you on that. Or I'll either say something being like, it's just not. We need to be empowering each other rather than trying to tear each other down. Yeah. But it does happen. It does happen less than when we're in high school, but yeah, it's mad. It's not for me. I don't like that.
This one, the idea that we need to play dumb/act weak or helpless to attract I'm not doing it to attract anyone. I'm doing it because I don't want to do it. So I literally saw your eye.
A little side eye.
I'm not trying to attract anybody. I don't want to lift a table.
I just don't want to lift a table. Why specifically a table?
I don't want to lift tables. I don't want to lift chairs. Women. So it basically says telling women not to do certain things because it will scare off the boys. It might not be universal, but it's annoying when other women say things like that. So yeah, I think when girls do it as a way to get a guy's attention, that's mad.
Yeah, I think you get taught that from young now.
Okay.
I think it's sort of the thing where when you're growing up as a girl, most parents will say they will raise their daughters differently from how they raise their sons, and it's because we get a lot of the speeches of like, oh, you don't want to do that, like you won't get a fellow if you do that, and you're just like, really in the grand scheme, when you're younger, you actually don't care like whether you've got a boyfriend or not, because this starts as young as primary school. They'll be like, don't sit like that. Like if I'm sat like a lad right now, if my grandma could see me, she'd be like, it'd be one of those like, you've got to sit with your legs together, you can't sit, it's not ladylike, all of this stuff. And it is a lot like men do the hard work or the grafting, and now I've never been that kid.
But what I think an amazing thing for feminism, what they've done anyway, so for me, I don't believe that there are girls who play dumb to get.
You don't think that girls play dumb?
No, not much really anymore, because like intelligence is attractive.
Yeah. And
I think that's what girls lean into more now, if more than anything. I don't really like. Do you remember in Love Island a couple of years ago where that girl was pretending? I'm pretty sure she was pretending she didn't know what Brexit was, Hayley or something like that. Or
Hayley. Oh my god.
Like that. Where she was saying she didn't know what Brexit was.
She came out of no, she didn't know what the European Union was.
Yeah. So in my opinion, like I refuse to believe that a girl at her big age didn't know what that was.
She really is.
So obviously she's doing it for a reaction, whatever that may be.
She did a number on the Scousers that time. I was literally like, oh my god, people are gonna think that we don't go to school.
Yeah, whereas I don't think girls really behave like that now.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
It doesn't benefit them in any way.
I think as a society we are generally moving, like women are generally moving away from the whole dumb, weak thing. However, as with anything, generalising is not ideal.
No.
But generally, as a society, I know I'm just going back on myself here, but as a society we are moving away from it. It is just the individuals that do show those toxic traits of like, oh, I'm just gonna act like I'm stupid, so someone will do something for me or whatever. And you see, they like make it funny into like TV programs and stuff like that, being like, oh, in Modern Family, Hayley basically acts like she can't do anything, so people get annoyed and just do it for her. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't ever. I said I didn't do that as a child. I did it to my brothers all the time. If I couldn't do something technological, I'd just be like, I can't do it, and then my brother would be like,
I mean, look at us now. We had to get Travis and Dre to do all this.
Yeah, I am very technologically inept, but it'd be something real simple, like, and he would get so mad at me.
It's like,
when
your parents think you were like a technological genius when you change like the channel to like AV or the HDMI thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? Like,
no, but like, it is what we have moved away from it. I do think that we are taking steps, making moves.
What do you think about this one? Expecting men to pay for everything.
Do you not have money?
I don't expect men to pay for everything.
No, do you not have money? Why are you expecting anyone to pay for your stuff?
However, I also don't think as well that that's something that's completely been moved away from.
Oh no!
Like, don't get me wrong. I know that there's guys who take like legitimate joy and pleasure in being able to pay for everything. However, I think the key thing about that is where it says the expecting of a man to do that. Like, no. Like, girls who go on dates and leave their purse at home, like, that's mad.
This is one where you've got to get a toxic masculine person and a toxic feminine person. You'll just need to get together.
I know.
Like, you need to get together because clearly you want to pay for it because it makes you feel like a man. You want stuff to be paid for because
I saw this tweet that blew up yesterday or the day before, and a guy said, I'm going to keep on running up, like, basically his career, so that my wife can say, a job? What? I'm married. And loads of people
from that meme.
retweeted it.
You know when they go up to people with fancy cars and they're like, what's your job? And some woman was just like, wife. She was like,
what do you mean? I'm married.
And so many people jumped on the back of that and they were literally like, oh my god, this woman.
I've seen it. There was this like blonde woman. She goes, what do you mean, what do I do?
Yeah. And I think loads of people jumped on that and great, people don't want to wear it. I'd be bored if I didn't wear it.
Yeah,
even if I won the lottery, I'd wear it.
I did actually sit down when I saw that tweet and think about it because I was like, oh yeah, like, what a goal. But at the same time,
I'd get a like low stress, easy job to give me something to do with my time. Like, I wouldn't want to just be a housewife. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not for me. Like,
I don't know. Like, I remember I've got a mate who was like, got like she wants to be a housewife. There's just nothing wrong with that, innit? But
yeah,
it's just different for different people. But
if it works, it works.
But I think it's going into the relationship being like, by the way, you're do you know what I mean? It's your pin.
I think the main word in this is the expecting. Yeah, like, you shouldn't, like, okay, if you want certain things out of a relationship or whatever, but expecting a man to pay for everything.
But girls like that will only go out with certain men.
That's true. I feel like that's a whole deeper issue that needs to be discussed in a much deeper manner at a different date.
What do you think of this? Women getting angry at other women for warning them that their man is cheating on them / being involved in their male partner's cheating.
I wanted to bring this up as a podcast before, but again, I don't know, because I've said this before, you know, where I've asked people, when someone's sliding in my DMs and I know and I can see from their Instagram that they've got a girlfriend, I've asked a few people this, like, do I have a responsibility to tell, like, this, and I'm not just saying sliding in DMs, just like saying hi or like, or commenting on something, I'm saying like sliding in the DMs, like, flirting, whatever, I'm not stupid, like, I mean, I don't tend to respond because I always check out the people or whatever, but I've asked people, is it the right thing for me to let this girl know? And so many people went, no. No, you're not doing the wrong thing. And I don't think I'm doing the wrong thing. You're not doing the wrong thing, but there's so much that comes with that because you're inserting yourself deliberately into a situation that is going to be drama.
I don't know. It's
It's
just
gonna
like,
be
I
drama.
wouldn't say to you that you've got the right to do that.
No, I definitely
But
wouldn't say that.
if you did say to that girl or whoever, you haven't done anything wrong. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not being funny. He's done something wrong.
100%, but I don't think it necessarily works like that,
Yeah.
because I think it's so easy for someone to just go, "You're a liar."
Well, that's fine. You've done
For
your
me-
bit. You've done your bit. You've said if she wants to think you're a liar.
For me personally, I would want to know if my man was disrespecting me. He's not cheating. He's sliding in some DMs or whatever. But you're making a mockery of me.
Yeah, but
I would like to know if my man was
you're-
doing that.
you are going off the fact of what you would prefer and assuming that's what other people would prefer.
Yeah, that's why I
Just
don't
not
say
do it.
anything, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I just don't reply to the person.
It's different. Like, if
So
I was
they got
friends with the
no-
girl,
nothing to
if I was
go
friends with the girl, I'd
Oh
tell her.
yeah,
If I don't know her from Eve, like, sadly,
yeah, that's
That's
a
your
real
battle, I feel.
shame. But it like I've
that's a real shame.
That's the real shit. I've had it before where people have stayed in my DMs where the guy has lied about what I don't even speak to this guy, don't know him, don't literally, as you would say, know him from Eve, but he had said that he was seeing me. So basically, it was a situation where he was cheating on his girlfriend and had a side chick, and was saying to his side chick, "Oh, like, well, bun you, like, I'll just go link with Hannah May or whatever." This girl,
Have you
I
met her?
woke up never. Like, I met this guy one time in a smoking area, and we were talking about business. Like, it wasn't even me talking to him; it was George talking to him. And we were talking about business or whatever, and I think I got he added me on WhatsApp or whatever for something to do with this business, and drunk me just was like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, that sounds, thinking it was innocent. And like, honestly, I'd archived this chat because he'd just been talking to himself, because I just didn't reply to him, because I just thought this is weird. The next day, like, this guy had literally gone round dropping my name to his side chick, asking her for money to like rent cars to come see me and stuff. So that one day she just popped up to me, and it's all over my Instagram. She's on my pictures. Don't do this to other women. All of this. I was like, what the fuck? It was like 7 a.m. She's like,
I think I remember you.
she was like, check your DMs.
You called her.
Yeah. She was like, check your DMs. So I looked in my DMs, and I just thought, I read these paragraphs, and she's like ranting, like, he's got a girlfriend. Whatever. So I just FaceTimed her. I thought, I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, to be fair, so I guess for you, it would have worked out better if you just told her, been like, by the way, this is what he's doing.
But this girl did go and tell his girlfriend.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
showed up to his place of work, and I was just said to her, I was like, just don't.
I mean, all right,
don't
that's
make a
different.
show of yourself.
That's different. Like, turning up to someone's place of work, like, you've spent petrol on that.
That's his girlfriend owned the food shop that they both worked at or whatever. And then this girl showed up to that, so like, oh my god, it was a whole mess that I'd been inserted into.
Can I get on the podcast?
Send her a message there.
Check your DMs. Check your
What's mad,
DMs.
she actually like labelled me as like some like home wrecker on my Instagram on numerous occasions. And I had to go through like whatever, and obviously after I sent her screenshots of the archived chat of him talking to himself, then she was like, oh my god, you're telling the truth. Me sitting there going, I do not know what you're talking about. She did not believe me. She didn't believe me. And I was like, I have no idea why you think that. One, I didn't even think this guy was attractive, and I was like, oh, no. But she's then gone and told this girl, and I just said to her, don't do it in like a mad, embarrassing way, because you don't want to embarrass that girl, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
He is the problem.
I think a text message would have been enough, a phone call, but like showing up to someone's
and videoing it on live,
no,
she said she was gonna do.
Yeah.
And that's why I said don't embarrass yourself or the girl. Like,
that's mad.
it's his problem, and yet why is it the women that have to face the shit? Do you know when a man's cheated?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Like, why are you dragging this girl down as well? Has he not done enough to her?
I want to talk about it, but I feel like anybody who's like not a woman and is a guy listening to it can be like, oh my gosh, you're talking about bleeding from your vagina.
Wait, so let me just read it out. So it's women judging other women for using different types of menstrual products. For example, women who use tampons.
Deprecating
Women who use pads.
So the only time I've seen this, it's the women who use the super eco-friendly
Like
menstrual products
slagging off girls who don't use like moon cups or whatever. Is there anything else?
Does anyone do you know what a moon cup is?
No.
Oh,
Shall we explain?
so it's like a little rubber cup that looks like
Yeah, it
kind of looks like a little funnel, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you
But
literally
it's not.
fold it, put it up, and then it's like
And it
suction
just
holds it in.
catches all of the blood.
But I've always found that women who use menstrual cups, and obviously this is a massive blanket term, they are more likely to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't use moon cups. I can't believe you still use tampons. I can't believe you still use pads. Sort of thing.
I personally have never encountered anyone who shamed me for my use of products.
I'm not saying no. I wouldn't go. To be fair, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they shamed me. But they were like, yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, you need to be like. So it's usually coming from an environmental point of view. So like that is where
you can get eco-friendly tampons. They do tampons with like CBD in them these days. I've been seeing it pop up on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, bruh. Like, what is going on? But I'm like, come on now,
we're all in the same struggle, do you know what I mean?
Like, we don't need to be fighting people on this.
I don't want to use a moon cup because, anyhow, that suction mechanism doesn't work.
I don't. I wouldn't trust it.
Like, I know obviously it won't fail because it's suction. Do you know what I mean? It's physics.
I don't understand how it's suction, but also just even the size of it, I just think...
They've only got 2 sizes.
Oh, there's actual
different sizes? They've only got 2 sizes. Size A and size B or size 1 and size 2 or something.
I just don't like...
I think it's for women who like had children, women who haven't had children. I think that's fair. But like, yeah, so I
just think you can use whatever the fuck you want.
But also that as well would be toxic. It is
essentially what that is women fighting other women for like
their own choices on how to
manage their shaming mums how they raise their kids. It's none of your damn business. I watched it on the Jay the Table Talk and I thought,
oh yeah.
Why
to be fair,
I
can only imagine the amount of like digs and shades she gets for the way she's chosen to raise women.
That's what she was saying. To be fair, and there was a few different people I know. There's like Ashley Graham and that. And literally, you are damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, and it just tends to be that way. But women don't need to be fighting women on the little things. I think we have enough beef trying to get equality.
Do you know what I mean?
Them scrapping each other and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
So this one, pressuring each other to look/act more feminine for daily activities or special events. I personally don't really see that. I think that's like, obviously, that's just me saying it, but that is toxic. But I don't really think that is so much of a thing anymore. Because the way people want to dress is the way that people want to dress. I don't. Yeah. It'd be very, very unlikely for me to hear somebody say, "Oh, you could look a bit more girly." Like,
oh my god, I get it off Callum all the time. He's like, "Are you gonna wear anything other than gym leggings and a hoodie?" And I'm like, "Bruh, no."
But I don't even think that's not you looking girly. I think that's just you like.
I just like wearing
yourself
a
bit more.
I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that outfit. Gym leggings and a hoodie, nothing wrong with it. I can run, I can jump, I can shot. I can do what I want in my gym leggings and a hoodie. I feel like prime activity wear that, regardless of what you're doing. Step up into the club.
Leggings and a hoodie.
When are you having kids?
I mean, I haven't had that. I'm 24, so it wouldn't really be a thing that I've had yet. But for women who...
I just don't see how you can be happy without kids.
I think obviously this is for women who are like older and have decided to focus on their career and then having other women shame them for focusing on their career. But also at the same time, you don't know that woman's situation. What if she's been struggling to have a kid?
100%. Like, she might be trying her utmost hardest. Her fella might be firing blanks. She might have something to do with the old ovaries or whatever stops you making babies.
I'm really sorry, but is that like a legitimate phrase?
Firing blanks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? That is hilarious.
Verified by the man in the room.
I was just there like, I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I just thought you were being really insensitive. I was like, oh my god.
But I've had people say that I am like, because I basically have thought from when I was younger, 28 is around the age that I want to start thinking about having kids/having kids. People think that's mad for me to even have.
Did that ever change? Was it ever younger for you?
No. It's always been 28.
So when you were like 13, 14?
Because my mum was 28 when she had her
Okay.
first kid, so it's not based on that. I mean, it was kind of based on that when I was younger, but now, and trust me, I get more terrified as the days go on, but it's more for me of being around to see the things my kids can do and being young enough to be active and having fun and just being the mum that I want to be. I don't care if people are older or whatever, but when my mum had me, she was 30. Yeah, was she 30?
You're not the eldest though.
28, 29. Yeah, so she had 3 in 3 years, 28, 29, 30. She got called a geriatric mother. She was like, you fucking what? Like, at 30, imagine. There's people like 34, 35 having kids now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal, but for me...
That's toxic, like what the heck?
Could you imagine you've come in to pop out your third kid and they're like, you're geriatric. They're like, geriatric mother! She was like, what?
That's bad, that.
But that's genuinely, medically, that's what they call you.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But personally, my choice on the matter, even though people think I'm an absolute crank for thinking like this, is because I want to be young enough to do the things, be at my children's like wedding and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, it's like a round of applause when I stand up now. So I'm thinking, where's my body going to go in 10 years down the line? Like, it's a risk. But yeah, people do think like, they just go like, oh, that's too much pressure to put on yourself. I think I know what pressure I can put on myself. Thank you. People do think they need to have an opinion. It's madness. Let people do what they want. Do you know what I mean? What's his sweating?
I don't think this is really a thing anymore. Automatically assuming women who have short hair, muscular builds, or masculine clothing styles are lesbians. Like, I don't really think that. I don't think that's.
I don't know how outdated this is, but to us it's laughable.
That seems really updated. Like, we literally laughed when we read that because I don't really think that's a.
To us it's laughable, but like if you look at TV programs, a lot of the time they'll tend to still use those stereotypes, which I do think doesn't help the situation on the people that do think like that. Personally, women saying that to women.
Yeah, women saying it to women, but I've still seen, I do know like older men who do make those assumptions.
Yeah, but we're talking about toxic femininity.
So, whereas like women to women, that isn't that.
I think you just should know better.
That's just not a thing. I don't think anyway.
I think hair is actually really important to people as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really realise it. But if someone wants to shave their head, let them shave their head.
And what's masculine clothing? No, really, because everything is like pretty neutral.
I literally grew up
like you understand what feminine,
clothes.
you know what feminine clothing is, but like masculine clothing.
Does that mean? Like, yeah, like did people look at me and think, does she have a vagina? Doesn't she? No, I don't think that ever happened. Yeah. But people just like to take digs at whatever they can take digs at. I think.
But yeah, I think I do think some of these are a bit outdated. Still, but yeah, I think it's quite interesting what you said though about you've got the ones that are like just petty or like jokey.
Yeah.
To the ones where it is like that is like a serious issue. Because for me as well, like I do know that I can lean into some of those like I don't know like silly little traits, but at the same time I'm like, all right, have I actually thought about that's an issue?
Yeah, 100%. I've literally just seen on there the story time.
What's that?
The hostess.
What's that?
That was for my birthday.
That's what happened.
This is toxic. I want to point out that I was very drunk. I was very, very drunk.
It's something that you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is something I did. Basically, I was very, very drunk. I was just annoyed at men in general this day. Like, just because of the simple way that they've been speaking to me. Like, people have been vulgar. Like, they're just vile. So, we're obviously social distancing. This is back in August. Social distancing. Some guy had been, like, across the bar or whatever. And
is it the one that waved at you from across the bar?
No, that's recent. That's recent. That's fine. I mean, it really sucks for my dating, but waving at people. No, so he sent the hostess over to me to tell me. Sounds literally like play school, like.
Yeah.
But sent her over to tell me that he said, like, that he sees me and that he's looking at me. And I turned around to this hostess and I just said, did he give you a tip? Like, when he's ordered stuff? And she went, no. And I went, go back to him, tell him if he doesn't give you a tip, then I'm not talking to him. And she actually did it, and she actually got a tip, and I didn't talk to him anyway. I was just taking a stand over nothing.
Yeah, but I don't think that's like, I don't know.
That's toxic. Sorry, that is toxic. I woke up the next day like, oh, I cannot believe I did that. I abused my powers as a woman to get a guy to tip another woman just cause.
Yeah. When you put it like that, yeah, that's toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic.
From my point of view, because like I realise that I don't actually take much seriously. I'm just like, that's banter. Whereas like it's probably not banter.
But that's what I thought at the time. I was like, yeah, it's banter, whatever. Like, and also, who am I bantering? Myself. Like, I'm just sudden cracking this out. She came over and she was like, oh my god, thank you so much. You did tip me. And I was just like,
what tip did she get?
I didn't ask. I didn't care. I was just done with the situation. I was like, forgot I'd even done it. And she came over like, oh my god, you even tip me? I was like, yes. I remember just being like, you know, when you got the drunk eyes on, I was like, yes. And I remember just being like, and I went to the toilet, which happened to be past like his table, and I was just like, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's toxic. That's
wondering who the fuck I think I am, for one. But I was just done with men. I was done with men that day. Like, people were just saying the most vulgar things. They didn't want to listen no more. I was just like, I'm done.
But the thing is, the only difference with that, it's in retaliation too.
Yeah, rise above it, Hannah. Be better. Be better.
Yeah, fair.
I'm gonna have to be better next time, because obviously it's in the past.
Because I think it would be far.
So
yeah, that's not good. But it'd be far worse if you just went around every day doing stuff like that. Just because...
yeah. I was horrified the next day. I was like, oh my god, like, why have you done that? But at the end of the day,
I bet he was fuming. I'm sorry.
But also, that's kind of trying to pay me for my time, to be honest. And that's a bit as it is.
That whole situation was just bad.
Yeah, just a bad situation. Bad situation. That was toxic. So I did say at the start of this, like, I don't really think I'm toxic anymore, but we have our slip-ups and we do have to try.
I think everyone has their traits, and it's about catching when you realise you've done something like that. Because you woke up and you were like, Hannah.
Yeah, it's the banter. You think banter, it's not banter. It's you being toxic.
It was like even me at the start of this when I was like, oh yeah, I'm not interested. But then as soon as I was saying this, I was like, this is so bad. But like when I do it, I'm like, yeah, sure. But like now I'm like, I'm refusing to take out the bins.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, just take bins out of it. You're not gonna take the bins out.
No, I'll take. Obviously, I'll take the bins out.
Honestly, it is just one of them. Like, be better.
But then again, it also depends, like, culture from where you've grown up. So like the way that my parents have done it, my mum was like, I'll scrub the toilets, but that's on the basis that your dad takes out the bins, because she hated it. She wouldn't do it. So I'm just a bit like, okay, well, my mum's not taking out bins, I'm not taking out bins. But it's like, for me still, I'll scrub a toilet like 100% will.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that my mum's a toxic feminist, that's not what I'm saying. But
that's where that quote came from.
Where
you said your bum's cleaner than a bin. Oh my god.
Only because
it's coming back to me.
Yeah. Only because, like, if you're proper, like, you'll clean a toilet and you'll make sure it's clean. You're not really cleaning bins like that. What's in a bin is in a bin.
Well, it's the stuff that you don't want in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of how you grow up kind of affects the way you see things. But I think also that's why I always tell people to go to uni, because taking yourself out of that situation and seeing that other people live their life differently, it gives you a bigger sense of like, oh, okay, so everyone is different. Let's find out what I actually want for myself, not just what I thought things should be like, but like actually figuring out what I want for myself, what type of person I want to be. And at the end of the day, you're always going to slip up. People are going to slip up, but you need to try and be better the next time.
It's allowing people to catch you out on it as well. So like, even for me, the entire time when I worked at a bar, like, I'd never go to the bin store.
Yeah.
I went once, came back, I was like, I'm never doing that again.
I can't believe you did that. And here's me.
Even on the end of the night,
same place taking bins down.
On the end of the night, I'd literally leave the bin bag in the kitchen, because I knew that all the other kitchen guys were taking it down on the way. So I just thought, well,
worked in the same place, and here's me lugging bins down at the end of the night.
I think it was you who was said, because I just told one of the other girls that started just to do that, because that's what I did. And I think it was you who was like, who's left that there, blah, blah. And I just let you shout at them. And I was like,
and you literally was just like, none of my business.
You were scared at work.
Yeah, because people used to do that thing, like girls would be like, oh, I can't lift a tray of glasses, I'm so weak. I guess you need to hit gym then. It's your job. It's your job to lift these glasses. You have to lift the glasses. And then
the male managers would placate it as well. They'd just be like, oh God, we'll put a boy in there. But no offence, the boys in the glass wash didn't have the organisational skills because they didn't want to listen to the girls that were telling them, this is how you do it, this is the quickest way to do it. They're like, I'll do it what I want. And then cleaning that at the end of the night at 6 a.m, it'd be an absolute shit show. Like, sorry. So yeah, I was angry at work. Thank God I don't work there anymore.
But even like
Less
Christmas
angry
time,
than I
the
know.
trestle tables that we had to carry, it wasn't happening, and everyone knew Estelle's not lugging a trestle table. I'm sorry.
You get that reputation.
I'll
I
never
do
see
not
it.
want
I'm
that
not
reputation.
taking that. Sorry. It's the splinters as well. I couldn't risk the splinters.
Yeah, they were bad, to be fair. And what was that cloth that they put on it?
Yeah.
It's like
The
it's like a
Hessian.
burlap
The
sack
Hessian.
that they just stuck on
But
the top.
I'm
of
telling
it.
you
It
as well,
was
those
brilliant.
guys that genuinely just like, yeah, I'll take the chest. I was like, you know what? I'll let you have that, babe.
Nah.
I'll let you have that.
No.
Enjoy
Oh
it.
God, no! Don't even.
it.
That place used to wind me up with the little bits of
4 Christmases I went through at that place.
either
Avoided
toxic
taking
masculinity
one
overload or
trestle
toxic
table
femininity
for 4
overload.
years.
Not into it for me.
It was literally just like a pool of toxicity.
It was a toxic environment, but it's because people are mostly either drunk or hungover in that place.
Yeah, literally.
Literally on the job. But oh my God, I can't believe you did that to the girl.
Oh yeah, with the bin.
You let me shout at her.
No, I didn't. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have done
Round
that.
the
I just
corner.
walked off.
Oh my God.
It's one of those when if you were on one, you just have to kind of let you do it. Really. Like, I'm not being funny. I just let her get it out.
Just let me take a walk.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll get it out.
Yeah. It
that
comes
is-
with the hair.
That's toxic. That's toxic.
No, it's
femininity,
not.
Yeah.
What, me shouting at people?
No. But generally, that whole.
Oh,
thing,
that
whole
yeah,
thing.
that place was just toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, a lot.
Yeah. What's on about?
But at least you know to be better now. You maybe take the bin out tomorrow. Challenge yourself. You live in a house full of girls. Who takes the bin out?
But I empty the dishwasher more, so I feel like it makes it out.
So you tip for tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. I mean, you do, yeah.
Because I think when you communicate like that, it's fair. Like, there's another thing. Like, I'm not mowing the lawn.
It's a difference if there's a mutual understanding and
Yeah,
people go like, I don't really like to, like, for me, I will not touch food in a plug hole.
I don't mind that. That's fine. Just
Brad will get his hand in there. He won't like it. He doesn't like it.
I mean, I don't like it, but I'll do it.
But
I'll
he'll do
yeah.
it, whereas I will literally be gagging.
Whereas I'd rather do
I'm
something
crying.
like that than like mow the lawn. I just don't like doing it because you smell of grass when you come back in.
Yeah, no. Whereas I don't mind washing the cutlery. Brad has a serious issue
I
with
hate
cutlery.
washing cutlery. I'll leave it there.
And
I'll bang it in the dishwasher. I'm not.
we both have beef with the glasses, but I use like one glass and like reuse it, or like I'll use a bottle and reuse it, so I don't really have to wash glasses. I'm like,
Does anyone actually wash glasses in your house?
Brad.
The fact that you were like,
Brad when he needs to, but it's because he uses the glasses. Although yesterday I've never washed so many glasses in my life because obviously
I'm not being
Callum
funny, but the fact
changes
that you-
glass for every drink.
the fact that you drink from a bottle in your own home is just saying so.
I don't like glasses.
Really?
I just don't like washing glasses. Correction. Oh no, I do drink from a glass. I would just reuse the same one and just wash that one. You know where like I think it's a boy thing. Definitely in our household growing up, there'd be like 10 million glasses, and I'm like, you've drank, you put it down, you can't see it when you look around immediately, so you go get another one 10 minutes later, and I'm literally like, I'll
That's
be
what they're
stood
there.
there
That's what they're there for.
watching and twitching. I'm like, well, who's gonna wash all these then? I do it with Brad all the time, and I'm like, stack them up by the sink, and I'm like, and he's like, I have not used all of them. I'm like, well, I have got my bottle. As always, it's not me. And then he's like, oh, bless. But yeah, if you have a mutual understanding, that's cool. Like, me and Brad have that with taking the bins down, and as we call it, being the fridge goblin. So it's when like
Cleaning the fridge.
you're like, there's probably some stuff in here that needs to be binned, and it's not. Brad named it the fridge goblin because he kept doing it over a series of like weeks where he'd be like, right, fridge goblin time, basically to not do a bit of work. He'd be like, right, I'm gonna do the fridge. And then it just gets, some things are just so horrendous. Like, you know, when something is in a Tupperware and you can't smell it, so you just think, I really just want to avoid that Tupperware like the plague. But it's a good Tupperware, so I'm not throwing it away.
I've got a Tupperware like that. There's hummus that I made weeks ago.
No!
And it's one of those where, like, every time I've seen it, it's either been first thing in the morning when I'm leaving to work, so I don't have the time to, like, clean it out, or
You've got to deal
I'm
with the
tired.
smell once you open that.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
my issue.
I know. So I don't know what gone off chickpea smells like, but that's what it's going to smell like.
It'll be fizzy.
I'm pretty sure I put pomegranates in there as well.
It's gonna be fizzy. I actually can't. No.
But yeah, that was basically toxic femininity.
I think you literally could go on forever with it, but
Girls, don't be toxic
feminine. Just be better.
Just be, yeah.
Just recognise when you've done
Take
something
out your
wrong, be
bins,
better.
lift the stuff that you can lift. Don't fake pregnancies.
Don't fake pregnancies.
And then don't force me to use a moon cup. I ain't doing it.
That's the takeaway.
Sick. I'm happy with that.